Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and over Labor Day weekend, I rented a 2016 Porsche Macan S. Up front was a 3.0-liter turbocharged V6, and down below was a 7-speed automatic transmission. Now, this is not a full review. This is a different style than what I normally do if this is the first video of mine that you're seeing. I do have full reviews of a Macan that I'll leave at the end of this video, but because I was on vacation with my girlfriend, I didn't want to take the time to set up the camera, do all the stuff. So this is just my quick thoughts after driving the car for over 717 miles from Boston up to Bar Harbor and back again. So let's get the good and the bad out of the way, starting with the bad. Right off the bat, I don't know why, but this particular Macan had these side steps installed that were terrible. I kept racking my ankles on them. They were useless. They're only about an inch below where the door opens, so it's not like anyone's using them to step up. It's just for vanity, and whoever designed these, I hope a red sock finds its way into your white laundry. I sincerely do. These are awful. Please do not spec this on your Macan. The other thing was the infotainment system. Now, not only did it not have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, which I could live with, that's fine, but the actual infotainment system was very annoying. First of all, it listed the album at the top, and then the song name was very small to the bottom left, very strange and very confusing. But then, when you would switch songs, there was this thing that said tracks down below, and it would jump up by 3 every time, and then when you'd restart the car, it would start off in like the 300s. So by the end of our drive, it was up in the 400s or 500s. It made no sense. If anyone has any logical idea of why the track number changes by 3 each time and resets when the car is off, but not when you switch playlists or albums, please give me some type of info. I have no idea what this means. Not only that, it was really annoying to plug my phone in because I would have to select iPod and it would default to the iTunes every time, which I don't use iTunes, I use Spotify. So it was just a headache to get the car to just play the dang audio anytime I wanted it to. It also did fail the big freaking bottle test. I forgot to get a clip, but I did have the water bottle with me on vacation, and it did in fact fail, so wah wah wah. And another big thing is that it was sort of lacking in tech. It didn't have any blind spot monitoring, it didn't have any lane keep assist or lane departure warning, and it didn't have adaptive cruise control. Now, of course, I can live without these, but if I'm buying this car on the used market, there's a lot of other options that do have these fantastic features that the Porsche Macan S lacked. So, just a word to the wise, and we'll talk about that with the verdict a little bit later on, but let's talk about what I did like. Right off the bat, the driving experience of the Porsche Macan is unmatched by almost any other vehicle in its segment. It's fantastic to drive, it's quick, it's agile, and delivers a super sporty feel, especially going through the mountain roads and such like that. The 3-liter V6, fantastic. And you can even go up to the Macan Turbo and the Macan GTS, which get bigger engines and are even more powerful. So if that's something you want, you can search those out, but I think the 3-liter V6 does a great job. 7-speed automatic is also super fast to shift. However, around town, it could be a little jerky. And actually, when parked downhill, I put it into reverse and it rolled forward a nearly uncomfortable amount while actually engaging reverse. More so than like a traditional torque converter transmission would have. The PDK is fantastic, but there are a couple downsides to it, but nothing too crazy. I also think it looks fantastic. I love the way it looks, the blue color, the big Porsche wheels, great. And I really did like that it had not only dual zone climate controls, but it did have dual fan speed. So my girlfriend could set a different fan speed to myself, which came in handy more often than not. So, what's the verdict? Well, over the 717 miles I drove the car, it averaged about 22 miles per gallon, which isn't fantastic, but also not terrible. And I have to say that I really enjoyed my time with the car. I think a big part of that was the fact that it was a Porsche. I've never owned a Porsche. I've never really driven one for as long or for as many days as I got to drive this Macan, so walking out, seeing that Porsche badge, it did mean a lot to me, I won't lie.
None of these people know I drive a Porsche.
And here is what my girlfriend thought of the car.
All right, I'm here with
Bella.
What do you think of the Porsche Macan S?
I think that it's decent. And the reason why is because, well, I didn't like the infotainment like you, but I had my own fan speed. And that's what's important to me as a passenger, the fan speed. That's what I think of it. I hated the sidebars, the sidestep things. Impossible to get out of the car. There was a weird, side thing from my foot on the passenger side floor. Didn't like that. I'm giving the passenger review, not the driver review. But yeah, that's the passenger review.
But after all of this, I didn't find myself really missing the car once we returned it to its owner. I liked it, but there were just some things to me that I didn't really care for. Mainly the lack of the safety features in the infotainment on the bad side. I couldn't shake out of my mind that for a used price of a Macan S, I could buy a turbo Mazda CX-30. It's going to have a turbocharged engine. It will make less power, but still be fun. It's going to feel very refined. It's going to have adaptive cruise, lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring, Apple CarPlay, good sound system from Bose. It's going to kind of fill that gap with 0 miles as opposed to buying like a 50, 60,000 mile Macan S from a couple of years ago. So I just couldn't shake that out of my head. I think the Mazda CX-30 Turbo is a great filler for this car. Handles great, drives great, and is going to be the same price for a 0 mile option as opposed to a higher mile Macan. But in all honesty, I think I'd prefer this Porsche. Full review of this 2019 Porsche 911 GT3 RS is coming soon, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video of the Macan. Hope it was informative, if not at least maybe a little entertaining. But I have some more important work to do that you will see on the channel in just a little bit. Take care, guys.